Hey guys, welcome to Arcane Duels Community Spotlight. I'm Coshade,
And I'm Puddnhead.
and we are doing a game. It looks like Sergeant Ketchup has submitted a game against Werekingdom. It looks like they're doing a altered rules. Looks like their starting zones are in the middle of the opposite corners, and I don't really know the dynamic of this. What do you think about this, Puddin?
I like standard arena for a reason. So, uh,
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page there, but people submit all sorts of games, so this is kind of fun to do. And
the
Henry,
point is to get the game in the conflict stage faster, right?
yeah, like it's supposed to make games not as slow, I guess. Whoa, whoa, ketchup. He has some crazy stuff going on with that quick mark cast stuff. Anyway, and Where Kingdom cast that that gate right in the center without even moving, and he still has his move action, so that'll let him be extremely aggressive if he wanted to.
On armor right away.
Yeah, and Sergeant Kessler's recording just loves blipping giant letters of "Are you sure you want to do this?" It looks like on the screen, and it looks like Ketchup's gonna get himself a Psi Orb and an enchantment. And this is sort of like your.
Enchantment was actually force field.
Oh, how did you know that? Oh, we saw it, didn't we?
We saw that it was actually force field. It looks like he's got another one in that book. It's a force field, right?
Let's see here. Yep, he definitely has another force field. And again, this is coming from a pre-recorded game that is submitted on our Google Drive, so we kind of get to see their way of thinking while we just kind of cast over it. And he puts the Deathlock away. That's actually really interesting. And this is going to get really aggressive, I think, really fast, because Werekingdom is just kind of like, just kind of ready. Like with his first quick cast, he was just like, "Cool, I'll get extra mana," and now he has a great spot for like a Gorgon Archer, or he could be in range of a Gremlin right away, blue Gremlin, and I mean he can even Arcane Zap this round if he wanted to.
Although starting that close, that's really dangerous to put your force field on that section.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of mana on the game yet, so I mean, if he's going to spend all that mana revealing force field, that upkeep can really get to him, which is I think why he did the Psi Orb.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if I would think, oh, that's a force field if I saw a Psi Orb and an enchantment that was face down. But it is worth noting that Werekingdom does not have enough mana for a Gorgon Archer right now.
Ah, that is a very good point.
What he's going to do.
So, I mean, I guess I would also be expecting, like, either Invisible Stalker, Dancing Scimitar, Force Crush, or Force Hold. That wouldn't be bad choices for the Force Master. Just because he already has that Psi Orb out.
It does look like he has not prepared Galvatar this turn.
That's a really interesting choice, because this could totally get into a fighting match.
I mean, the whole point to me of starting closer would be to run in there and start dicing faster.
Yeah.
I mean, you take an entire turn off of the time it takes the aggro person to get to you. You better be ready for them to start chopping you up.
Did he prep Force Field and Mana Crystal? Oh, Surging Wave? No, what did he prep? I really want to know what he prepped.
I think he prepped Mana Crystal, but
I saw a Mana Crystal for
there.
sure. Which, again, like, it's a really interesting... Oh, Invisible Stalker.
And Mana Crystal, okay. Blips going on here.
Yeah, these blips, man. I'm not sure if that's, like, the operating system he's using or what, but... just kind of pops up on the screen. And it looks like a Harmonize is going to go down in the gate. That's actually a...
A Harmonize or a Reinforce?
Oh. I never even thought of Reinforce. That would have been a great choice. Although Ketchup's really not looking like he's getting aggressive right now. Probably in about 2 turns we'll see that Stalker start doing things.
This is weird.
Yeah, like I kind of think
I
turn
mean,
one, Ketchup should have moved one zone closer, just so that Invisible Stalker would have been more aggressive next round.
at this point, I don't see the purpose of starting closer. I
Yeah,
just don't see it. This is standard opening for a lot of different mages. I think Werekingdom might not have put on first turn
mm-hmm.
if he had started in the corner.
Yeah,
I mean, Harmonized Gate with a Raptor, Invisible Stalker with a Crystal, like these are all
very standard, absolutely.
pretty, yeah, pretty standard openings for your regular arena games. No, I guess we'll see what his plan is, but
Yeah, like I mean, you can do all sorts of attack spell openings turn one, which is I guess why Ketchup wanted to put on that force field, but it really just caused him to just kind of seize up in terms of being aggressive at all. Which if you're gonna play closer, you might as well just get aggressive yourself.
right. I mean, that is kind of his classic problem, right?
Yeah,
All of his books have a lot of build up to them. And is that a
yeah. Like I'm not sure if the mana crystal was necessary in a this kind of starting position, and we see Werekin was just kind of like, okay, well, I guess if you're not gonna get aggressive, I'll just lay down the hand of Bim. He's got a spawn point out, so he's getting more creatures, and he's just like, I'll just secure the fort, you know. Which I think it's a great move by Werekingdom.
I mean, it doesn't seem like either of these books are optimized for this kind of a style.
I'd agree. Yeah.
The Force Master to move forward one and force pull.
Oh, we can't target him. Those prompts, man, they just pop up on that screen. You know, I'm actually really enjoying doing this community spotlight. It's a cool way to see how other players are sort of interacting with the game.
I think if it were me, I would have started moving forward and dumping. And when you start that close,
Yeah,
you could just get in their face really fast.
literally turn one, you can just attack spell, like just
You
going
could
right
force
in.
construct too. Just get those
Yeah.
constructs
Oh
down
yeah,
there,
absolutely.
pile on the dice, kill everything that comes out, and then
And I mean, the wizard, of course, can do arcane zap really early, and all sorts of other shenanigans there.
surprised if he has a Hawkeye on right now.
Yeah, Hawkeye, maybe Kira's favor, maybe Rhino's hide. Rhino hide would probably be the choice there.
Is my guess on the wizard.
And I mean, both players are putting down a Hand of Imshallah. So this is turning up to be like we're gonna go into kind of just a normal game here, you know?
It didn't seem like anybody really took advantage of being. A wizard could have put their gate there.
Yeah, that's the only
Well, not
advantage.
first quick cast.
Yeah, I guess that's the only advantage is the wizard opened with the gate before, and it's an aggressive gate now, rather than like a, you know, sort of on your side gate.
Zone down, it would still be pretty aggressive gate.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. It's just one zone difference. Which, I mean, he probably would have just harmonized the gate anyway. Turn one, if he wanted to get that aggressiveness anyway. Which, you know, like, the Gate of Ultura is probably one of those cards that, it's one of the few cards that I'm like, I can see why you want to harmonize that. It sort of makes sense to me over a lot of other harmonized targets.
Around them getting to every other turn, you know?
Mm-hmm.
A standard gate and spell every other turn, to make sure that the wizard does not get a creature every turn.
Yeah, exactly.
On that. Is that a gargoyle sentry?
That is a gargoyle. A great creature
Nice.
for the wizard to come out. Not necessarily as good as like the guardian angel, but still solid.
To make it defend right now too, if you wanted to.
Yeah, right. And Ketchup's not sure what he wants to do. And that is going to be an enchantment.
So like my standard Hawkeye Rhino Hide is probably, or maybe brace yourself. Okay, brace.
Yeah, I can see a brace.
And moving in. Interesting.
And then he's giving himself armor. Okay. I mean, I guess the gremlin, this is a good chance for the gremlin just to sort of get some free damage or force some mana to get out of the Force Master.
Edge.
Whoa, that's Force Field. Alright, Force is getting revealed, and it's going to absorb a gremlin attack. And that was pretty costly, actually.
It is an aggressive use of, I mean, that's a dangerous use of Force Field. Now I can just knock all the counters off this turn.
Exactly. I totally agree with that. Mark for death on wizard. No, I totally think that was a... just 2 counters off of 2 punches, and then he still has the Raptor free. And the question is the Raptor going to go after the Force Master or the Invisible Stalker?
Raptor has an ethereal attack, I believe.
Yeah, you're right. So you're right about that.
And it's got 2 counters on it right now?
2 counters.
I mean, that's 2 dice. You could do it in a couple of
Are we going to see a quick cast? Oh, he's going for it, man. He's going for that Invisible Stalker. And this is kind of like the bane of the Invisible Stalker is versing the wizard there. Revealing the Hawkeye, so he gets 4 dice ethereal. And it looks like he only did 1 damage with it, which is a little unfortunate.
It's a lot of whiff.
Yeah, but he paid 1 mana, so it's still even, I guess, if you talk about a 1 mana to 1 damage ratio.
Got 3 damage off of 2 dice.
Alright, that's pretty good. And we're looking at already half dead Invisible Stalker here.
Uses Bimshala to heal himself so that the Stalker's damage did nothing.
Jeez. Werekingdom. That was just a favorable trade, I think, for Werekingdom.
I mean, my philosophy with the Force Master is generally you go in with Galvatar and kill all the creatures, or you slowly pick the army apart from afar.
Yeah, those are decent ways to play the Force Master for sure. And the creatures Werekingdom has out aren't exactly impossible to kill. Like the Raptor has 1 armor,
True. I mean, and this turn, Henry Sergeant could just Galvatar and sweeping or double strike something.
Yeah, for sure.
Not look like that's his plan so far.
Yeah, that Witchwood belt is definitely paying off with Werekingdom.
He's got Mark for Death and Rust on the wizard right now, I think. Is that what we saw?
I think you're right, yeah.
Guild has 2 counters on it right now.
And the Raptor
out there
is at 3.
Die.
And another blue gremlin comes out. Blue gremlins are amazing creatures. They are just like deceptive at how much damage they do, and they're just, when you try to kill them, they always just get that 1 defense that lets them survive an extra round. Oh, dissolve. But there's a nullify. Nicely played by Sergeant Ketchup there.
And a dissolve. It's pretty good.
Yeah, he just
that spell.
Yeah, definitely just swayed the mana ratio there. Werekingdom still has enough mana to do that Arcane Zap, though, which is super important against that Invisible Stalker.
Has to do it.
Right? And here come the gremlins!
He's giving his wizard some armor. So armor 2 on the wizard right now.
Jeez.
Off.
And here comes the gargoyle. Is going to go in. Just get another force field hit. It's a solid play, I think.
Able to pass there.
This is such a weird game.
And creatures.
These pop-ups, man. Is this how he plays all his games? Like, do they just full screen like this every time?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it makes it easy to see.
Yeah, I'm really curious, man. And we got some damage out.
All right now.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He tried to pass, and then he couldn't pass. That's okay. People, when they play the game, have problems like this all the time. He's probably going to use the Force Master first.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, not having that Raptor attack is really important, I think. Mark of Death's getting revealed. So 2 armor. It's going to be a 3 dice attack.
Probably.
Let's see, Hand of Bim. Alright. 3 damage goes through. Rock on. So now the Hand of Bim is going to be traded for probably healing.
Been used.
Oh, these rules. So it's going to be Ketchup's turn again. Basically because his wizard already hit something. And they went out of a weird order.
Kingdom already said, yeah, that he would have just.
And of course, Ketchup's like, I'll allow it if you want to. And he's like, maybe I don't have to use my stalker first. It's pretty funny, man.
Stalker is probably dead this turn.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the advantage of having more creatures, is you get the pass sort of advantage there. He rolls 3 damage. Little under average there. 2 damage from the Raptor, not killing it.
Not dead yet, but staggered.
Gets a stagger. Rock on.
Which means that stalker's only rolling 3 dice next time.
Yep.
Just not attack with it next time, and then
just let it build up. It's not a bad idea, actually. We see a little force gremlin come out.
A gremlin, yep, on his quick cast.
Which gremlin, when you think about it, for 3 dice or 3 mana, you get a little die. What is it? 2 dice attack, I think.
Death is bumping it, so he's gonna get.
There you go.
He's gonna get 3 dice, and I'm pretty sure that his plan is to any armor on the wizard so that those 3 dice do maximum effect.
I can see that. And that's pretty worth it when you think about the mana cost to dice ratio there.
I really think at this point in the game he is making a huge mistake, because that gate is going to continue to pump creatures out
for free, basically.
And
not free, but you know what I mean.
One point to back that up, you have to be killing those creatures as fast as they're coming out, or you will die.
I absolutely agree. I mean, he's got an extra 2-die creature that goes up to 3, but I mean, another 3 dice piercing is about to come out. And
that Lightning Raptor is about to have a 5-dice counterstrike.
Absolutely, and that invisible stalker alone is just once it's dead, that's a lot of power that's just suddenly gone.
Werekingdom's free to just kill the Force Master.
Mm-hmm.
Deflect is not going to save you, and your force field is only blocking one attack around at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think, kind of a trap, I guess, a lot of Force Masters run into, where they expect to have a lot of higher dice than their opponent, but I mean, it's been just enough rounds that the gate is sort of more than paying off by now.
Yeah, the gate. Not necessarily a fan of killing the spawn points right away.
Yeah.
Not going to kill the spawn point. You have to be able to do a significantly high amount of damage, or to pick their army apart as fast as it comes out.
Yeah, like a lot of things that players make a mistake of is they think, okay, the gate is only channeling one mana around, but you have to think about a full action as being worth, 1 to 2 mana unto itself. So every time you're casting a creature, it's actually, if you look at it in sort of an odd way, it's actually gaining that much extra mana just because of the action advantage you bring from that.
Advantage is huge.
Yeah.
And that is one thing that the Force construct creatures are really good at.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And that would normally cost a full action out of a quick action, which allows you to keep using your full action to do damage. But like in many of the games I've seen Henry play, or Sergeant at this point, all game. I'm going to do that all game.
Yes. That's good.
In play, he does not get his offensive power out on his Force Master until it's too late.
Yeah.
And right now he's got a 3-dice attack and a Hand of Bimshala. This point is going to be best used on armor because of all the attacks coming his way. So that's not going to buff his attack anymore. Mistake to buff his attack, I think.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest faults was actually just not advancing early. I think if he would have been able to tackle those creatures earlier on, instead of using 10 mana on a force field, he would have been able to sort of control how many creatures are on the field versus him versus, clearly being outnumbered here.
I mean, I would love to see a Galvatar right now and a double strike on that Raptor.
Oh, yeah, just killing that guy? Great. Absolutely.
All the way. You've got 2 elusives that can get it instead.
Yeah, he's got a lot of options when it comes to taking out those gremlins. Because, yeah, they have 1 defense, but, you have a bunch of these quick cast dudes, they can actually really add up in terms of damage. Lightning Raptor's getting enchanted.
A ton of them, though. I wonder if he's got
a mind control. Interesting. So he's got a stun on him now.
I mean, but it's just 1 dispel away from being creature advantage again.
Yep.
Yep.
If Werekingdom prepped to dispel for whatever reason, like to get rid of force field or something, then he can literally not even. It's 1 action wasted rather than 2. Yeah, there's the disperse. So he's only gonna have 1 stun on him because he's gonna get a second one, but they both get removed this round, which means next round he'll be active again. That was a pretty solid move.
And he was probably using that for force field, or he was expecting the mind control.
I mean, either way, it was a good move to prep that.
The big problem here is that was 6 spellbook points for it's only 1 spellbook point for and he spent less mana on it.
Yeah, that is a really good point. I mean, getting the disperse off, again, trading that full action for that extra mana, and that lets him now have an Arcane Zap ready to just kill that invisible stalker.
Yeah, it looks like he was going to get rid of Rust instead, but then he chose to get rid of the mind control.
I think that was a solid choice. Yeah, we got a force punch for, looks like 3 dice here.
I really think you cannot do this to a wizard.
I mean, Wizard's kind of one of those guys that just sort of counters the Force Master decently well.
What's the Voltaic Shield?
Voltaic Shield gets absorbed. He got 2 damage out of the 3 possible, so I think that was a solid trade there. And yeah, Sergeant Citra's just like, okay, well, let's just take out your force field then. And it's gonna be gone by the end of this round.
He's going to get 1 counter on it every turn, so it will. He's basically spending 1 mana every turn to block 1 attack every turn.
To block a 3 die, you know, that's not bad.
The upkeep is worth it at this point. He should be killing these creatures.
And you're just kind of holding out, like for the inevitable, if you're just doing it that way. And clearly, what Werekingdom is doing here, really smart, is he's saving his quick cast for that 5 die attack, Invisible Stalker, I guess 3 here. So if he does attack and quick cast phase, he just kills it.
And probably he is not going to attack with it this turn, so that he doesn't have the stagger problem. And then he can just zap the Force Master.
Right? He just gets a 4 die attack for free then. And looks like... Oh no, he is going to attack with the Invisible Stalker. I don't agree with this move at all.
I wouldn't do that.
Nope, he chooses not to. Okay.
He's got stagger. So he should probably just use the Stalker and then...
Why does he have... Oh yeah, because of Mark for Death.
Maybe Mark for Death isn't working for it?
Aegis? He has Aegis? I did not see that. Okay,
He's got Divine Protection on. Yeah, that's right.
Alright, well that was a good choice to counter the Mark for Death. It's like literally exactly the same trade-off. A little bit better.
Got 5 damage, that's good.
I mean, it's kind of like a last hurrah there. It's just going to die right now.
Here's the zap.
4 dice here. And this is a really smart move by Werekingdom, rolling 6, 7 damage. That's crazy, man.
1 started if he'd gotten that at the beginning.
And the Lightning Raptor removes its stun, and that was the end of the round there. And, I mean, if you look at the dice potential now...
Ketchup forgot to use his Hand of Inshallah.
It's an extra life waiting to happen. And,
Should die on the Stalker's attack, too.
Yeah.
Is it anyway? A little late for that, buddy.
It's okay. It's a casual game. That's why we have these submitted. By the way, if you guys ever want to submit some videos to the community chat, there's a link on the Arcane Wonders forum site.
So the Stalker's down. So a large source of dice is down. He's either going to have to Master, or he's going to have to boulder that wizard twice.
Oh man. I mean, honestly, this game is slipping out of Sergeant's hands more and more. I mean, just look at the dice potential here. You have each of those gremlins is doing 3 dice, piercing 1. The Gargoyle does 3. The Raptor's doing 5. And that Wizard can pull out 7 if he uses both of his actions to attack. That's insane compared to the 5 dice that, Ketchup can do in return.
He's in a bad spot right now.
Yeah. And Ketchup's only at 11 mana, and that's not a lot to do stuff with.
Have stayed back, I would have force pulled that Raptor and hit it with the Stalker.
Yeah, killing that Raptor would have been a great choice right now.
Finish the Raptor off.
Yeah.
I mean, the Gremlins are annoying because they dodge, but at the same time, I don't know if he has a Falcon Precision in there, or
they're not doing crazy damage. The Gremlins, they sort of needle you, and they do like chipping damage, like just slowly chipping away at your health. But that Raptor can do some serious damage right away.
I mean, if you want the force field to be working for you, you got to kill the creatures. You got to have fewer creatures on the field than you get force field counters.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a symbiotic orb out there right now.
Yeah, symbiotic orb. A great spell, man. Yeah, I'm actually not seeing a lot of the new cards. I guess we see Invisible Stalker.
It's
But
not very new.
I've only seen him sort of contemplate. I'm sorry, Force Gremlin. I've only seen him sort of contemplate, like, redistributed power. Like, sometimes you just gotta go for it.
Yeah, it looks like the plan for this book is to just hit the mage all the time with everything elusive.
Yeah.
Tried this out in Academy. I have a Tuesdays with Puddnhead where he has an Academy book where he runs a bunch of elusive stuff and just hits the mage over and over again.
That doesn't seem terrible. I mean, that doesn't seem really that bad in an Academy.
I mean, it works, but if you're going to do it that way, you have to get rid of the spawn point, I think.
Yes, especially in Arena, it's the major issue is that it's more life, and I agree. You have to get rid of whatever's causing you that outside damage. You can't really assassinate people as well in Arena. If that makes sense.
Yeah, especially since, I mean, the wizard has especially if there's a wizard.
Yeah.
Wizard has Voltaic Shield, which keeps him alive forever if he needs to. Yes, it's 2 mana a turn, but still, you're blocking 3 damage off of one of the attacks every turn.
Yeah. And I mean, notably...
just negating one of your gremlins.
And notably, like, Wizard and Druid tend to be very good survivalists just because they can directly affect that damage they receive with their abilities. And Gargoyle Sentry is going to absorb another hit from that force field, and that leaves him open.
He's using the Gargoyle Sentry to do that because the gremlins have Pierce.
Yes.
So, End of Imshala and Armor, which is what he should be doing. Gremlins are going to get through that 1 armor.
Ruh-roh. And yeah, I know what you're saying. That piercing 1 is actually super advantageous. And really, there's no point in that gremlin necessarily, just because everything's elusive. And with the Force Master having elusive pants even, it's probably one of those things you just don't want to even bother wasting time on.
I see a Tanglevine here.
Ooh, that would be interesting. And the Tanglevine's going to, of course, give a -2 to the deflect ability.
Hit the mage, but he doesn't really care about that very much.
Yeah, I mean, basically...
So 6 damage or something.
Yeah, right? I mean, now Ketchup's going to have to be force pulling in order to just get in range to actually hit him, or just, take out that vine.
The vine is always a tough choice.
Oh, I know. It's at least 2 hits in usual cases. It looks like he's going to redistribute power, just so he gets more damage, it looks like. And here come the gremlins. Getting an extra 3 damage. And this is going to add up really quickly. And here's another 3 die.
You can't afford to...
And that defense is not 50 up. Oh no, here comes the big guy. And if he gets a stagger, oh, that's so bad when it comes to the dice coming out. 15 dice. I don't think he should be rolling that much.
The bug in Octagon.
Yeah, it's a silly bug. I guess when it
I think the
maxes
Counter
out,
Strike trait is changing.
I could see that.
What the Counter Strike trait?
That's so ridiculous. There we go. He gets 7 damage out of it though. That's really good. And there is no armor on catch-up, so that's going to be 7 damage directly. So he's at half. He's half dead now.
And he forgot to use his Hand of Imshal again.
Ooh, the shrine is there to help. Redistributed power goes on. Gremlin then is going to be sacrificed because of that. This is a solid move. That's how you really get to use those guys to the maximum potential.
But one purge.
Yep. Oh, and you get force field with it. That'd be such a good purge.
Purge, the important thing to note is that the purge will have to spend 3 extra mana to get rid of the redistributed power.
Ah, yes, you're right about that.
All 15 of his mana right now.
I don't think he has a nullify because we saw one earlier, and we didn't see him put another one on after that, I think.
Probably doesn't have another one. I guess we can see it right now.
And yeah, Galvatar would be a good choice here because you could still do sweeping to start to take out that Tanglevine, or you can just double strike the Raptor. Like I said, it's Counter Strike now, but you know, it's getting a little bit too dangerous for.
It only has 8 health right now. Staggered, so that redistributed power is doing nothing this turn.
I guess you're right. Yeah, so if he double striked, he could.
This is the turn.
Kill it.
This is the turn that you teleport 2 spaces and heal yourself.
I can see that.
You should do this turn. Let's get out of there.
Running away game. It's
Gremlins.
A solid choice, yeah.
I mean, the Gremlins will come and hit him, right? So, but then the Gremlins are separated from the Raptor and the Gargoyle.
Yeah, and if he moved one, he'd be slightly out of range of them, so, you know, that'd be nice.
That's true. Yeah, if you teleport 2 and then move and heal.
Oh, he has Force Armor. That would have been great against the Gremlins.
Gremlins could put it on right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically...
If he had armor on. But he doesn't have armor on.
Right? I mean, he basically would have 1 solid against it. 2 if he would actually do the BIM.
Or would give him 1
This
armor.
is a tough game for him to beat now. He's in this outdiced situation. And he's gonna look something up.
This is a really tough situation.
I'm actually going to cut here. I'm going to write down. I'm going to cut this. All right. So, I mean, really, he has so much dice against him. That's kind of how ultimately you have to look at Mage Wars in a lot of ways, is like, kind of the bare bones is just how much damage am I getting versus how much I can put out. Because that's a...
Oh, Stonegate's Basilisk.
I really dislike that creature, but, you know, I understand why people would want to play him.
His attack.
Yeah, I mean, at least he has piercing and stuff like that.
Basilisk does?
Yeah, and his claw attack. Pretty sure he does.
Astral Anchor. Nice. So no teleport.
Oh, that is brutal. Astral Anchor. And a Redigas fan joining, which I have wondered, is a Redigas fan a Redigas?
I don't know. To get rid of the stagger. Alright, that's cool.
That's actually pretty smart. So he gets an extra melee now.
Have a weapon on.
I mean, really Galvanize would be an extra amount of dice. That's just so good. Like right now he's hitting with his punch like it's a freaking one-man punch kind of thing, but
6 damage. 7 dice on the wizard, right? Or was that 8?
He has Aegis 1. And if he uses the yeah, there it is, the hand bonus.
He's checking Galvanize right now.
Nope, he did not use the hand.
Use the hand.
Use the hand. Yeah, right now Galvanize is not auto, the melee one.
Galvanize does.
Oh, does it? Oh, that's actually really nice.
He forgot the wizard had Aegis.
Yes, it's 3 dice, plus Galvanize, plus Redistributed Power, it's 3, plus the Mark for Death. Am I missing one? Oh, yeah.
He's missing his Hand of Imshallah. He should be using.
Yeah. No, you got 7 damage anyways, so rock on. That's nice damage, man.
I mean, they're even right now. The problem is Werekingdom has all of his creatures left.
And choose to get the armor 1. Which, again, he has piercing 1 on most of his guys, so... or just a ton of damage. Yes.
No hide, maybe.
The worst thing you can do against someone that's meleeing, or that you're trying to melee, move out of the way. Force field gets absorbed by the gremlin. As far as he didn't use the gargoyle first. Either way, I think he's just trying to get damage on.
A mistake, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless he's playing to guard with the gargoyle.
Does he have armor? How much armor does he have?
He's got an armor from the Hand of Imshallah.
Yeah.
And he may have just revealed Desperate Focus. I didn't actually
okay, that would make
that
sense.
much attention.
That would be the extra armor there. And again, it's not a 50% up. 15 dice! Oh my goodness, that's so funny. Can you imagine if Lightning Raptor was 15 dice? That'd be so awesome.
I mean, if you wanted to, you could get it there.
Yeah, right. Just, I mean, I don't know about you, but like every game that I play with Wizard where I have the Raptor, he just gets like murdered quickly. Like it's good because he absorbs usually some attack spell of some sort, but like usually he's just out by like before he gets like 5 counters.
Figured it all out.
They're good. And that's going to push Sergeant Ketchup to 24 out of 32 damage.
Yeah, that's dangerously close to dead. Dangerously close to dead.
I mean, a good boulder. Hey, he has force field at least. That's going to help. But, I mean, he gets purged. That's dangerous.
Even just disperse the force field.
Yeah.
And mana.
Disperse the force field. I mean, maybe a rust or an acid ball. Or just lay on the damage.
Werekingdom only have 6. It only has 6 mana. Why?
Looks like he hasn't changed upkeep yet. Yeah, it's still doing it.
He has enough to disperse
or
dispel the force field.
Yeah, this is one of those like, can I win this round right now? Like, what do I have to do?
For him to just cast Poisoned Blood.
Yeah, that would be a solid choice.
Corruption. Either one of those would be a really solid choice right now.
Arcane Corruption, that'd be so brutal.
You see a lot of people on Octagon hyper enchanting himself. I mean, even Werekingdom right now, he's got 3 enchants on himself.
No, you're absolutely right about that. And Destroy Magic.
3 damage a turn.
Destroy Magic, Purge Magic, Arcane Corruption. Like, that is how you beat this meta right here. I've been seeing, actually, some people talk about the Hyper Enchant Minotaur with Battle to Courage kind of books. And it's just like, you land the Purge in the right spot, and you don't wait for it to be perfect. You wait for it to be, like, generally about the same mana cost or above, but you get the extra actions out of it. And if you do the right Purge, man, oh, you are so set.
Kill the stupid Minotaur.
I mean, honestly, if you look at a lot of the other ADMW games that were played, a lot of those hyper enchant builds, just simple purge would just destroy them.
One game where it was somebody had a pet Timberwolf and it had like on it or something ridiculous like that.
Regrowth, bear strength, cheetah speed.
Well, it was all the academy ones, right?
Oh yeah.
So it was
bear
really
strength,
cheap
Wolf
to put it on
Fury,
there.
Badger frenzy.
Coin strength,
Yeah, right.
all that stuff.
Sailfin Hydra. Wow, I never thought I'd see that in Arena. That's actually pretty cool.
Kane warding his astral anchor.
He's like, "You are not getting out of here, sir." And then he
just put a force shield on himself.
for shield
Is a really good card.
Yeah, that'll save him this round for sure.
To do this round, but he needs to use it.
Oh, is he gonna get the? I think he can daze and stun, or is it just stun? I don't remember.
The basilisk.
Yeah. The beam.
Yeah, he force fields it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but that's a good thing about the basilisk, if I remember right. All right, and it is Sergeant Ketchup's turn. He says he's thinking.
This is the point at which I would totally want a firestorm or a ring of fire in my book.
Oh yeah, zone attacks would be great right here.
Annihilate the zone.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in my warlock, I do 2 ring of fires, just because I've noticed that one usually barely isn't enough, but if you have that second one, you just like kill everything.
Or tsunami. I mean, as a force master,
yes.
I think a tsunami would be a really good move.
Double tsunami, man. That is.
I mean, you can't be pushed.
Yeah.
Right now, you're Tanglevine.
Yep.
Push everything away.
So much damage. He won't get the gargoyle, but that's not the end of the world. And it's all gonna be 1 dice here. Yeah, he's rolling 3. I'm not sure why. He's probably just not set up for that. Yeah, we don't really have an Aegis token in this game.
If that's something that we can add to the list of things that need to be automated, is force shield.
Yeah, force shield. Still took 2 damage though. That's a lot. And he's gonna roll 2 die. Oh, he's gonna defend. Whoa.
He doesn't get it. Never count on that. You never count on that.
I mean, he had a 9 up, I think, because he's restrained. And he doesn't get anything out of that. Did he get the stagger? Yeah, he did get the stagger. Nice.
The Force Master's already moved this turn, though.
Yeah, that's actually pretty brutal. He's checking other games. He's like checking other games here. I don't know what's going on. And I mean, that was a solid round just to survive an extra bit here. Wow. Getting meta here, Mr. Ketchup. Talking about the viewers. Okay. So, I mean, I haven't actually really seen Mind Shield get used in a arena much, and this is kind of just a good example of how it can sort of just...
In Force Shield?
Yeah. Force Shield, yes.
It's annoying, but you can get around it.
For sure.
Force Shield is really good because it's 2 guaranteed turns of pretty good protection, and then the final round is hopefully you've done enough damage that, I mean, putting on Force Shield and then doing an AoE spell
Oh yeah.
that
And
people need to use.
and I know even Force Master Academy, didn't they have a? Do they have a zone attack in that? Pretty sure they did. They have Force daggers, I know.
Volcanic Burst.
That's right, Token Burst. That was a solid spell.
It only rolls
Force
3
Master.
dice, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Want some, like, I think Ring of Fire is 5 dice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's crazy, actually.
You'd want to do something like that.
It's just range 0/0, but that's not the end of the world.
First.
I think you're right about Tsunami, though. You get a ton of dice out of that.
It's amazing how many situations you find yourself in as a Force Master where there's a swarm of enemy creatures right next to you in the middle of the board somewhere.
And you gotta deal with all of them.
You clear them out, kill, are far enough away from you that you can take your time killing them. Now, I'd prefer not to get into that situation in the first place.
Absolutely.
You're going to get into that situation because of the kind of book you're running. Tsunami can even be absorbed by Force Field. So...
he puts the Gavatar away. No.
I mean, honestly, I don't know what's going to help him at this point.
Yeah.
Not only does he have to get Galvatar out, but he has to kill 2 things with it every turn.
Yeah, this game's pretty much over. Oh, and the blur gets revealed. That was a huge card when it came out as a promo. And now it's just sort of like, you see it sometimes. You see 8 dice heal, and he rolls 5. That's a little unfortunate for heal there.
So, happens more often than I want to admit.
Yeah, right. The curse of the Force Master.
Fine. It.
And this is what he needed, like... I think he needed to cast the Force Armor about
turns
five, yeah, exactly, turns ago. Right when you see that first gremlin, we should probably have it out. Because it's piercing -2, right? Oh man, Force Shield getting dispelled, and that's probably going to be game here. Maybe, no, probably survive, but still though, it's going to be close.
Werekingdom has initiative next turn.
Yeah, I don't see...
Oh.
I don't see Ketchup really surviving this much longer. This is kind of like...
Gargoyle to pop the Force Field, so that's good.
Oh, and he's going to get the double strike? Yeah.
From the Hydra.
And
it's 3 dice, right? 3 dice double strike?
Yeah, I believe so. And of course, he doesn't have that piercing with those gremlins anymore. Yeah, let's see. Yep, he makes his defense. All right.
So it wouldn't even matter. The gargoyles and the gargoyle and the gremlins are exactly the same.
Yep.
Anyway. Oh, so that's good.
Double strike. And this is where a ton of damage comes in. Gets 1. Gets 3. Rock on.
For damage on 6 dice against 1 armor.
That's pretty sweet.
Dice and 3 dice rather than on 6 dice.
Yeah. He's at 2 armor right now, I think. Yeah, 2.
Oh, he's got Desperate Focus.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. So he's at 3 then, right? Because he has the Bimjala on.
Have Desperate Focus.
And he's dead.
And
That was just... the Basilisk just chopped his head off, man. Well, solid game, man. Dude, Werekingdom just pulling it out.
honestly, Werekingdom was in control pretty much the entire game.
Yeah. I mean, you can play defensively pretty nicely as Force Master, but you don't have any dice offensively, and it just kind of It snowballs to your doom.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think that the new starting position changed anything in that
No,
game?
I don't think. I think it would take a lot of time for people to adjust their books to properly see it. I could see a lot more attack spells or things like that, but I mean, there's a mana crystal in the field. It's probably an indicator that didn't affect that much in this game. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it could have done something.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure that all it did was force the force field and the Witchwood Ironvine out first turn.
Yeah, which is a little bit faster, but it
It
is what it
gave
is.
it gave the wizard control of the middle of the board.
Yeah, that's pretty dangerous.
Oh,
I mean, I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh no, it's not really strong anymore. But honestly, Wizard's Tower is something to consider if you're going to be this close to each other turn one.
I think the game is balanced the way it's balanced.
Yeah,
You know, I
yeah,
mean, they
I think
spent
you're right.
what was it like 5 years developing this game before
Yeah, I'm sure it was just tried
2012.
out for sure.
I don't know. I would probably have to see it again a couple of times. See somebody actually choose to use that closeness
Mm-hmm.
because you can move one and twice on the
Oh
first
yeah,
turn.
I mean, imagine like a Jaktari summoning a layer where you start. You know, like imagine what that would do to like the Druid. You know.
Still going to be in the corner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Move to the corner if I
But now
wanted
your
to.
but now your layer would be one zone away from the tree.
True.
You know. Anyway, I think we're gonna wrap this video up.
No, I think there were some significant mistakes made on Ketchup's part there. He needed to have some more armor. He needed to kill some creatures.
Yeah, it was really his targeting choices. Like he got offensive in the wrong ways, and granted, he got damage in Werekingdom, but Werekingdom didn't really care. And then he got defensive when it was too late to go defensive. I definitely agree with your look there.
If he had been planning to go for Werekingdom from the get-go, he needed to be throwing a whole lot more attack spells.
Yeah. I mean,
So
with telekinetic burst and bomb now, and what was that telekinetic bolt or whatever it is? There's a lot of options for dealing a ton of damage. Earlier
I
on.
don't think I would try doing an all-elusive team in. You need to be able to deal with other things.
I think if he's gonna do that, he needs to not go Invisible Stalker. Actually, he needs to get double creatures out turn one, a third creature out turn two, and get rid of armor, and then just try to pour on the dice that way. But the way he played it right now is Invisible Stalker didn't even get in range until turn four. You know?
Normal.
Yeah. Yeah, right. It's normal.
I wonder if the Invisible Stalker is just not a good choice for that
In this kind
setup.
of mode. Yeah, I could see that. It just
Which
because,
on real fast.
yeah.
The Stalker is really for ganking things that are out of position. Like
Yeah.
that is what it's for. So I think if you want to run in full aggro, power up your mage, or you need to be dropping those quick cast creatures every turn and just overwhelming.
Oh yeah.
You know,
It's a burst maneuver because they're gonna die really like over time, but like if you get enough damage with those earlier, you could be in decent shape. I think.
I think so. And Galvatar already comes with piercing 2 on it, so you can get through a good 4 armor with just a rust.
Yeah.
Double
Absolutely.
strike.
Absolutely.
But your main dice attack still would have a pierce 2 on it,
Yeah.
and could be used even if they're running away.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna wrap this video up. I don't want it to go farther than an hour, so I guess thanks for joining us, guys. I hope you enjoyed this.
We'll see y'all next time.
Yeah, and again, if you guys want to submit videos, we have a link at the Arcane Wonders site. It's under the general. No, it's alternative play, I think. I think it's general. I don't remember. Anyway, thanks for joining us, guys. Take care.